I want to first ask you about the economy. We got a preliminary reading already. It looks like Germany narrowly avoided a recession, although we could see it slip technically into 2 quarters of contraction. What do you plan on doing about that? You've got so much money and so much to spend it on.
Well, first of all, the German economy basically is in a good condition. We are very performing on international markets, and there will be a lot of more investment this year. Last year we had the federal budget not ready. This year we are spending more for families, we are spending more for infrastructure, we are spending more for defense matters, and all this will have a positive impact on our economy. So we expect the German economy to grow by approximately 1% this year and 1.5% next year. This is lower than expected, but for an advanced economy, it still is quite an encouraging figure.
Well, and you've got a budget surplus. Couldn't you just spend more money? Wouldn't the EU like you to spend more money?
Well, we have increased our public investment. We will continue to do so. We will increase our defense spending. We'll continue to do so. And at the same time, we have a debate inside government about tax reform, about tax relief for companies. This is not yet decided, but of course we want to combine a sound state of public finances, no sovereign debt that will increase over the foreseeable future, but at the same time a modern tax system, and of course we are inspired also by the corporate tax reform that was implemented in the US and also in France, in the UK and in Belgium.
Let me ask you quickly about Brexit. We just heard Theresa May speaking in Parliament. Clearly the EU and the UK are at loggerheads concerning reopening the agreement to debate. But Chancellor Merkel a few weeks ago said it would be a shame to look back in 50 years and not have done as much as possible to compromise. Do you think that a compromise can be met?
Well, basically, I'm still optimistic that we can, first of all, avoid no-deal Brexit. That would be harmful in many, many aspects, politically, but also economically. Second, I believe we should have a as close as possible bilateral relationship between the EU and the United Kingdom. The idea of the referendum and the Brexit was not a European one. It was one that was decided by the British government at the time. There was a referendum. That is something we respect, but even respecting it, it does not mean that we do not regret it.
Let me ask you also about your relationship with the United States. You've got a couple of issues with Huawei and Nord Stream 2 that have caused some friction. It looks like we just saw Deputy Secretary Briette walk by here, and he sounded very relieved about the compromise that the EU made last week concerning the pipeline and the splitting up of ownership and transmission of the gas. Do you think the EU is backing, or the US, I should say, is backing off a little bit on this issue?
Well, first of all, it was good news that the Undersecretary of State and myself were both relieved by Brussels' decision. The Brussels decision was possible last Friday because France and Germany were united, and we were able to table a compromise that will increase the regulatory competence of the European Union, but it will not destroy a specific pipeline project that is underway. So we are facing more weeks and months of important debates and decisions, and I believe that we should make a clear-cut distinction between, on the one hand, this pipeline project, which is a European project, and the decision was backed by 90% of the member states, on the one hand, and the diversification of gas supply in Europe and in Germany on the other hand. Germany will have and see an increase in gas demand for many, many years to come. And that means we have warm interest in diversifying our supply. And today we have announced that we will construct at least 1 or 2 brand new terminals for LNG, for liquefied natural gas, coming from different regions, from the Middle East, but also from the US. This is good news for the American exporters. We had excellent and constructive talks, and I believe that gas trade between the US and Europe will increase over the next 5-10 years.